Sources tell CBS News the U.S. military used Claude for its attack on Iran over the weekend. Now, the Pentagon's ongoing use of Anthropic's AI model comes despite a falling out with the company over its refusal to grant the military unrestricted access to the technology. Now, hours after the Trump administration ditched Anthropic over the dispute, OpenAI swooped in and struck its own deal with the Pentagon. Now, the details of that agreement appear to be changing. After facing backlash, CEO Sam Altman says he's working with the government to, quote, make some additions. So I want to bring in Katrina Manson, Bloomberg News reporter and author of the forthcoming book, Project Maven, a Marine colonel, his team, and the dawn of AI warfare. Very topical for this time. Katrina, we spoke on Friday about the timing of the standoff between Anthropic and the Pentagon, while a huge military presence was building off the coast of Iran. You recently had an exclusive report about Anthropic submitting a proposal to compete in a Pentagon prize challenge to produce autonomous drone swarming. What did you learn about that?
The lines really are so murky. Anthropic submitted a bid for this extraordinary challenge. It's a $100 million prize challenge being run by a division of the Defense Department run by Special Operations Command, known as DAWG, the Defense Autonomous Warfare Group, and another group that tries to gain outreach from Silicon Valley companies, DIU. And together they're trying to create voice-controlled autonomous drone swarming tech. It's research and development, but it has attracted a number of companies already, I've reported, SpaceX and xAI, and OpenAI was named on 2 bids, not as the lead contractor, but the secondary. But what really got my eye is this new reporting that Anthropic also submitted a bid for that. It doesn't seem to have been chosen, we've reported at Bloomberg, but Anthropic, I learned, according to a person familiar with the matter, didn't think that this deal crossed its own red line. And of course, when you do look at Dario Amadei's comments in public, he said he's against fully autonomous weapons only because the AI is not yet reliable. He is not against the idea in theory. And so I do think we're really seeing this onset of a new form of future war.
Now, after the fallout between Anthropic and the Pentagon, Sam Altman with OpenAI said that he wants to make some changes to the deal he struck with the U.S. government. In fact, last night, Altman posted to social media, writing in part, quote, "We shouldn't have rushed to get this out on Friday. The issues are super complex and demand clear communication. We were genuinely trying to de-escalate things and avoid a much worse outcome, but I think it looked opportunistic and sloppy." So, Katrina, we now know OpenAI faced a lot of backlash for working with the government. Is that why Altman is changing his tune, do you think?
Well, according to the Wall Street Journal, which has a fantastic report out today, he's saying in an all-hands meeting at a town hall that it's been really painful. So in the way he's couching it to his own people, according to this report, it does suggest that they were seen to be opportunistic, as he said himself, Friday night swooping in on that deal, saying they'd made a deal that would be comfortable for Anthropic as well. There's been no public sense that it is comfortable for Anthropic. The red lines do still seem to apply. And then, of course, OpenAI saying, responding to that and saying they are going to add extra safeguards on top of the ones they already said were enough. They were saying that they would just do this work on the classified cloud, not the edge. They're now saying they will not be striking any deals with the National Security Agency or any intelligence agencies that fall under the Department of War or the Pentagon. That would mean also the Defense Intelligence Agency. These, of course, are the intelligence side of things. So what they're trying to guard against there is any risk of mass domestic surveillance, which the Pentagon already says it is not permitted to do under US law. So this is a very kind of frenetic stage where we're seeing a lot of back and forward on the language. And it's not clear if OpenAI has done enough to satisfy its own internal critics, never mind the external critics.
I'm curious, what about the other big AI companies, notably Google and Meta? Are they looking at this rift between Anthropic, OpenAI, and the Pentagon as potentially opening a window to make their own pitch?
Well, besides OpenAI and Anthropic, xAI has just recently struck a deal to get onto classified networks at the Pentagon. And of course, xAI was part of that bid for the drone swarming tech, as we reported at Bloomberg. So I think there is certainly a big open window there. Google, of course, is already a long-term partner of the Defense Department. Since the days of Project Maven, when it said it would not renew an AI contract, it has dropped some of its caveats about working with the Defense Department. It has cloud, it has several other elements, and Meta has an open source model. It doesn't, as far as I'm aware, have direct contracts with the Department of War, but it does work with several subcontractors. It has a partnership with Anduril, and that is on some of its most forward-leaning tech in terms of visors for military operators to really bring data to the battlefield. So both are already involved in military operations in terms of the tech supporting that already. Of course, there is always more that they could negotiate.
Yes, those were certainly lucrative contracts. I can imagine that other people would want them as well. Katrina Manson, thank you so much.